The Squid Game had become very famous in the fishing village of Dorland. The children played it in the schoolyard to perform challenges similar to Korean fiction. Such was the boom that an organization decided to set up its own Squid Games. They called a press, and with many sponsors that would promote the competition, they got a good sum of money to offer as a reward to the winner. The Dorland Squid Games would become a tourist attraction throughout the country. People from the town and from distant places signed up. The only public information was the reward. The contestants hadn't received any guidelines or rules. They only knew that the game would be tough. Sarah had lost her father a few days after being fired from her job. Letters from the bank threatened to take the house away from her if she continued to fail to pay the bills. She felt drowned, so she risked playing the games of her town. It was a perfect opportunity to quickly achieve economic stability. When she got to the beach, she saw hundreds of people wearing green sportswear with their identification number. It was a good replica of the series. There were even hired people with red holsters and their faces covered with fake guns pointed. She was surprised at the realism of acting and decoration. In the sea was the famous doll from the game Red Light, Green Light. They had built it the same way. It was gigantic. The water was up to its ankles, though the tide was starting to come in, so its knees would soon be wet. After several photos and videos, the people dressed in red asked all those not participating in the games to leave the area. Both the press and the onlookers were barred from the maritime area, preventing anyone other than the participants from seeing what was happening there. Soon, a voice sounded through a megaphone explaining the rules of the Squid Games. Everyone would have to proceed with their hands and feet tied with various obstacles on the beach, and while the tide was coming in, the goal was to get to the doll. The first to get it would take the money. The voice changed to a mocking tone and assured that no one would take care if someone stumbled into a trap or hole. The game started and the tide was already closer to their feet. Sarah advanced carefully, trying to avoid obstacles and keep her balance. She was going slowly, but she knew it was wiser to go slowly and avoid falling. After a few steps, several contestants were already on the ground, crawling like a snake trying to get up. When the sea water reached their knees, the difficulties began. Each jump was more unstable. Some people fell next to her. They were yelling for help. They couldn't stand up and were drowning. People dressed in red looked at them menacingly from boats. If she helped any of those people, she might fall, plus she would lose the chance to win the money. She felt selfish, but they had all gone to win the reward. People fell in front of her. They screamed with all their might, but no one saved them. Those responsible remained impassive while all those people who were drowning before their eyes. Who had allowed that game? Sarah managed to reach the finish line. One of those in charge of red put her in the boat with him, and they sailed together towards the open sea. She was scared. That had stopped seeming professional to her. The people in charge of that game seemed like real criminals. Soon the boat came to meet a submarine. A person in a red cover came out of the hatch and silently threw a sports bag at Sarah. The organizer who was with her on the boat got into the submarine with his partner and, raising his hand, said goodbye to the young woman, leaving her alone and with the bag in the middle of the sea. Opening the zipper, she found thousands of bills. There was a millionaire sum. Days later, the newspapers reported the hundreds of deaths that had occurred at the Dorland Games. Everything seemed to indicate that a drug trafficking gang had organized the games to evacuate the entire sea area of the town and carry out one of the largest transports of substances in history without police surveillance. And Sarah? She preferred to be left for dead. That money and her could not go back to Dorland together. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode!